Dreams don't die. Nah. They just kind of sit in the corner like a loyal dog waiting for you to finally come home. And that's what we're getting into tonight. So the dreams you swore you buried, nah, they still breathing. They're just tired of your excuses. You ever notice how society talks about dreams like they're milk? Better chase it before it expires. But meaning doesn't expire. A dream doesn't go sour. A dream just waits. When you were a kid, you didn't have any bills, no boss, no student loans, just raw vision. Astronaut, rapper, painter, whatever. And then adults came along like, be realistic. But what's realistic? Working at a job you hate for 40 years? Paying off loans till you die? We want the dreams back. Let's be real. We don't ignore dreams because we stop wanting them. We ignore them because chasing a dream feels dangerous. You might fail. You might look stupid. And we're all so addicted to approval. But approval is not going to help you sleep at night. And regret does the opposite. It keeps you up. Your dreams don't disappear, but they do charge late fees. And the longer you ignore them, the more expensive the cost. Not in dollars, but in effort. Dreams are time travelers. They don't forget you, even if you forget them. So your dream's not dead. It's alive. Patient, breathing, waiting on you to stop ignoring it. Now, speaking of failure, let's talk about that. Or maybe not failure, but regret. Because failure stings in the moment, but regret is going to hang with you forever. See, failure hurts, but it also teaches. Regret is quiet poison. You don't even notice it seeping in until one day you wake up and realize, damn, I'm living a rerun of a life I never wanted. At least failure will leave you with the story. Regret leaves you with silence. And silence gets loud at 3 a.m. when you're lying awake staring at the ceiling fan. You ever notice how regret has a perfect memory? It remembers the exact moment you backed out, the audition you skipped, the text you never sent, the idea that you shelved. The moment stays fresh while everything else fades. Dreams don't die, man. They ghost you, but they still watch your story. They're still waiting for you to call back. Failure is loud. Regret whispers. And the whispers last way longer than the pain. That's why ignoring your dream is the most expensive bill you ever pay. It charges interest in that silence. People want to clown you, man. Let them clown you. Their laughter will fade. Your regret won't fade. You can outlive being embarrassed. Okay, you can't outrun your own reflection in the mirror every day. Social regret is temporary. Soul regret is permanent. And trust me, that permanent shit feels like chains. What if regret is proof that time isn't even real? Think about it. Regret makes a past moment hurt like it's still happening. It folds time. Like a dream you ignored when you were like, I don't know, 19 and it's still bothering you at 39, 40 years old. That memory is evidence that dreams really don't expire. They just like orbit around you. Regret is the tax you pay for ignoring yourself. And the older you get, the higher that tax gets. Society's been programming you since day one to kill your dream. And they dress it up nice, call it school, call it career advice, call it being realistic. But really, it's dream suppression disguised as structure. Think about school. You start coloring outside the lines, wild imagination. And what's the first thing they tell you? Stay in the lines. And that's it. That's the beginning of the end. They don't teach you to dream. They teach you to obey. Bells, rows, raising your hand for permission to speak. That's not education, that's factory training. People tell me, oh, well, school gives you discipline. Discipline or domestication? If it was discipline, they'd be teaching kids how to manage emotions, how to chase goals, how to handle failure. Instead, they teaching us how to sit still for 8 hours and remember the state capitals. That's not discipline. That's training you to follow orders. Then they hand you the next script: job, benefits, retirement. Translation: trade 40 years of your life to maybe live for 10 more, and they tell you that's stability. That's stability for them, for the system. You're stable in their machine, not in your soul. And society doesn't just nudge you away from your dream, it mocks it. You say you want to be a painter, people laugh. You say you want to be an accountant, they clap. See how that works? Approval goes to the safe choice. Shame goes shame goes to the daring choice. That's not random. That's programming. That's how they keep you in the cage, by making the cage look like common sense. You ever notice how a lot of the quiet, weird kids in my school, they went on to make some of the dopest shit like later in life. They didn't fit in. So why does society want us so small? Because small is predictable. Predictable is controllable. And controllable is profitable. A dreamer is dangerous, not because they break rules, but because they write new ones. Society doesn't want architects of new worlds. It wants employees of the old one. So they make you think that your dreams can expire, but really, they're just scared what will happen if too many of us wake up and start chasing them again. So, yeah, it's not just you. Society's been watering down your dreams since you could hold a crayon. But don't get it twisted. The dream's not dead, it's just waiting under the noise. Now, let's talk about the biggest dream killer of them all, in my opinion: the fear of looking dumb. Not money, not time, not talent, just straight up embarrassment. You'd be surprised how many people's dreams got buried because somebody didn't want to look stupid in front of strangers they don't even like. You ever notice how the fear of looking dumb only shows up when you're doing something new? Like nobody's embarrassed. Like nobody's embarrassed to eat cereal wrong because we all mastered the spoon. But try singing, try painting, start a business. Suddenly everyone's like, but what if I mess up? You will mess up. That's the tax on being new. And embarrassment is just a receipt. So you saying I should look dumb? Yeah, I'm saying you should look dumb on purpose. Nothing scarier to the crowd than somebody who doesn't care about clowns. The moment you stop caring about being laughed at, you're bulletproof. Think about it. Most people aren't chasing their dreams because they're terrified of being a meme before they'd even succeed. But you're guaranteed to miss if you take no chance. The fear of looking dumb comes from one thing. We're addicted to applause. We want likes. We want retweets and validation. We're scared of rejection because we equate silence with failure. But silence doesn't mean you failed. It just means they're watching. The same people laughing at you for chasing your dream, going after what you want, they're going to clap when you finally make it. So what they're really laughing at is themselves for being too scared to try. What if instead of the fear of looking dumb, we feared looking safe? Safe is forgettable. Safe is invisible. Being dumb, dumb gets remembered. Dumb gets repeated. Dumb gets refined into genius. Every inventor looked dumb until the invention worked. Every artist looked dumb until the gallery opened and people saw what they could do. Every rapper looked dumb until the crowd knew the words. So yeah, maybe looking dumb is the first step of being undeniable. So the fear of looking dumb is the gatekeeper. But if you walk through that door anyway, that's where your dream's hiding at. The biggest scam killing the dream industry is people think they're running out of time. Like if you don't blow up by the time you're 25, you might as well work at Best Buy forever. Nah, time doesn't expire. We just keep wasting it on shit that doesn't matter. You ever notice how Society got these fake expiration dates. Graduated by 22, married by 30, rich by 40. And I'm just paraphrasing, like, you hear shit people say. Who made this timeline, though? The same people that think, like, fax machines still matter? Deadlines are for, like, work assignments. Okay, dreams don't operate on that scale. The only wasted time is the years you spend telling yourself that it's too late. That's the loop. That's the prison. Start today, and yesterday doesn't even matter anymore. Funny thing is, people act like they're waiting for the right time. But we all know the right time doesn't exist. Time's like weed. It's only good when you roll it up and use it. Otherwise, it's just sitting there, getting stale, drying out. Time doesn't disqualify you. In fact, time makes you sharper. When you're older, you got more stories, more scars, more flavor. No, going after your dream doesn't make you weaker. It makes you more seasoned. So what's the difference between wasted time and using it? Easy. Borrowed time is when you live in on somebody else's schedule. Jobs, trends, approval. Owning your time is when you invest in the shit that makes you breathe. Borrowed time drains. Owned time compounds. That's why 10 minutes working on something you love and want feels better than 10 years on somebody else's ladder. What if time is an illusion just to keep us scared? Like, think about it. Clocks don't exist in nature. Trees don't rush. Rivers don't panic. Stars don't check the calendar. But I see people stressing, turning 30 like it's a disease or something. Maybe time's running out. Maybe time isn't running out. Maybe time's running with you. And then the only question is, are you moving or are you standing still? So I don't think we should see time as the enemy. The lie about time is the system wants you to believe you missed your shot, so you stop aiming. But your dream doesn't care if you're late. It just cares that you showed up. The joint keeps going out like, damn, come on. Talking too much? All right, let's talk price tags because everything costs something. Your dream, your job, your excuses. The question's not if you'll pay, it's what currency are you going to use? Chasing your dream costs sweat, risk, failure. Not chasing your dream costs peace, soul, sleep. One's painful up front, the other is painful forever. Chasing a dream hurts. You're going to lose money. You might lose friends. You definitely going to lose sleep. People going to clown you. People going to doubt you. Hell, sometimes you're going to doubt you, if I'm honest. Chasing a dream is expensive, but at least you get something back. Every time you fail, it teaches you something. Every loss shapes you. Every attempt builds muscle. That's ROI, return on investment. Failure is okay. That's the receipt you get saying that you bought the lesson. Because you can't learn anything for free. You pay now in embarrassment, but later you collect in growth. Funny thing is, the cost of chasing your dream is obvious, so people get scared. But the cost of not chasing, that's sneaky. It hides. And by the time you realize it, you already bankrupt in spirit. Not chasing your dream feels safe at first. Comfortable even. You saving money, avoiding risk. Nobody's laughing or tripping off what you're doing. Like, what is he doing? What do he think? They think that's gonna work? Just, what is this person doing? But over time, that safety tax is brutal. You wake up 10, 20 years later with regret heavy on you, heavy on your chest. You look around and realize that you built a life out of other people's blueprints. That's the hidden bill. A bill that don't stop charging interest until you die. So what's worse, paying with risk or paying with regret? Risk fades. Regret compounds. Risk makes you sweat. Regret makes you shrink. Pick your tax. But at least risk buys you some stories to tell. Regret just buries you in silence and darkness. You ever notice how when you working towards something that you really want, that really like satisfies your soul, even when you're tired, somehow you're able to push yourself further and harder than you usually would on anything else. You know, you do 3 hours on something you love, but you do 3 hours at a job you don't like and you feel like, I don't know, you come out of there feeling like you aged. You ever notice how when you're working on something that you really love, that really satisfies your soul, it's easier to push yourself further and harder than you have or that you might on something that's just, say, like an assignment. That's the difference I'm trying to point out. Is chasing drains your body, but feeds your spirit. Not chasing preserves your body, but starves your spirit. And eventually your body will follow. You know, I don't even think the universe really cares if people fail or succeed. It just wants you to move. It just wants you to create energy. Like maybe just creating that energy is the real dream itself, if that makes sense. Because even if you never get exactly what you wanted, you end up becoming the person who tried. And maybe that's the whole point, is just to become, even if you never arrive. So, yeah, chasing the dream is expensive, but not chasing it's like filing bankruptcy. You're going to pay either way. So, pay for something that feeds you, not for something that bleeds you. All right. This is the hidden boss level that nobody tells you about. You can have the talent, the resources, even the time. But if you don't believe that you deserve what you want, you'll sabotage yourself before the world even gets a chance to start doubting you. You ever look in the mirror and talk yourself out of something before you even try it? Like, nah, I'm not I'm not gonna be good enough, or somebody else is already doing it better than me, or things like that. That's the battle of belief. Most dreams don't die from any other outside source other than the bathroom mirror. And some people might say that doubting is just keeping, being realistic. But I feel like doubt is just fear. Realistic is knowing the odds. Doubt is betting against yourself before you even place a bet. If belief was like a type of weed, a lot of y'all are out here smoking oregano. No potency, no high, no lift, just a placebo. Telling you it ain't worth it. Sometimes you got to borrow belief from other people until you can grow on your own. Coaches, friends, strangers, even. Sometimes they see in you what you too blind to see in yourself. That's cool. But at some point, you got to stop renting confidence and you got to own it. And you'll know when it's happening. How are you going to know when it's happening? When your actions stop asking you for permission. You start moving like it's already yours. Even if no one notices or said anything or even understands yet. That's belief. Walking like you belong in rooms that aren't even built yet. The wild part is belief doesn't need evidence. The evidence comes after. But we do it backwards. We wait for proof to start believing. That's like saying, I'll start working out once I see the muscles. Nah, the belief is the gym. The results show up later. I'm going to take somewhat of a sidestep here. What if belief is just future memory? Like maybe when you believe something, you low key tapping into a version of you that's already did it. And the belief is just your future self whispering back, yo, keep going. We already here. So to me, belief isn't optional. It's the currency. You either got it or you're broke before you start. And even if you don't have it yet, you got to start building it, you know? The rent is due. Rent is due. And we got to stay focused through all these different types of distractions that are out there. All the way the world keeps us too busy, you know, too entertained, too numb to even hear our dreams calling. Netflix, TikTok, scrolling your life away. You know, I'm talking about the subtle little killers. The shit that it kind of feels productive, but it's really just anesthesia for your soul. The reason your dream feels distant at times is attention. And our attention is everywhere. It's leaking everywhere. It's not channeled. It's leaking. We're focused on too many different things. Distractions are like candy. They're sweet, quick, cheap. You pop one and suddenly 3 hours gone. I'll just watch one episode. Whole season gone. I'll just check IG real quick. Just scroll past 400 exchanges on vacation and other shit. I don't know. Distractions don't kill your dreams directly, but they starve them. They keep you so busy chewing on junk attention that you never sit down for a real meal. Now, I'm not saying that you can't relax and kick back from time to time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying relaxing is intentional, distraction is avoidance. So don't get that twisted. One recharges you, the other numbs you enough to forget you're running away from yourself. Funny how we say we don't have time for our dreams, but somehow we got time for 3 hours of scrolling, and it's about priority, lack of focus. And there's other distractions too, like the ones that are kind of like dressed up like productivity, but they're kind of not. I mean, after a while, it's just an excuse, like cleaning the house instead of writing the book, for example. Um, answering emails and texts instead of starting that business. Telling yourself you're preparing when really you're just procrastinating. And the way you tell between if you're focused or just faking, if what you're doing doesn't move the needle forward on your dream, it's a distraction. It doesn't matter how busy it makes you look. They don't call it programming for nothing. Whole industry's built to keep you numb enough to not to chase your own shit. Sports, streaming, gossip, even politics sometimes. I don't know. It's not that those things don't matter. It's that they're designed to matter more than your life. And the longer we binge them, the quieter our dreams get. Until one day we're using their scripts for our purpose and it doesn't match up. What if distractions are just counterfeit dreams? Like low budget copies of the real thing. Entertainment is just somebody else living their dream while you watch. And the reason it feels addictive is because your soul's starving for the real version, your version. Distractions kill slow. Death by scrolling. Death by one more episode. Death by everybody else's dream on your screen while yours sits in the corner starving. You gotta cut the distractions. Cut them. Minimize them. Nobody's perfect, of course, but minimize them. Because once you cut the distractions, you gotta face the scary part, taking the leap. And that takes courage. It takes courage to do that. And I don't mean having no fear. I don't mean like, that's not what courage is. Courage means, fear came to the party and you just kind of danced away from it. I don't mean out the party. You just kind of, you don't be phased by it. You just kind of shift over and you keep doing your thing. It's not required that you be fearless, to get to where you want to be. It's required that you leap scared. Being fearless isn't even human. I think it's somewhat impossible. I don't care who you are. These people that say they're fearless, you're not fearless. No one is fearless. Like, it's not possible for human to be fearless. I feel at all. Fear is baked into survival. It's not about if you're scared. It's about, do you move anyway? Do you still do something? Like, fearless people don't exist. Fear facing people do exist. And if the leap doesn't work and it messes you up, then at least you fell forward. Right? It's better to fall going for something than to just be standing there. Most people never take the leap because they're waiting for the fear to leave. But that's like waiting for the weed man to show up on time. Like, it's not happening. It hasn't happened. It's never gonna happen. So just, you gotta take the leap. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy either. Sometimes I'm not saying like go skydiving or something like that. I'm saying it's just like, hit record, send that email, small leaps that stack up over time. And each one rewires you to believe, like, you know what, maybe I can do this. Every time a little more, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this. And every repetition makes it lighter. Every time it's easier, it's lighter. You don't start, with the skyscraper jump. You start with the sidewalk hop. Then one day, boom, you got your wings. You ever notice how the crowd only cheers once you're already in the air? Nobody claps, once you while you debating on the edge. That's why belief always, it starts in private between you and you. And once you do it, once you take that leap, suddenly you're not crazy no more. You're a pioneer. in whatever you choose to pursue. What, like I was saying, like what if courage is just like a little like time travel, like the future version of you already living the dream, and when you make the leap, you're just catching up to them, you know? Maybe, fear's not even real. Maybe it's just the lag, the gap between you now and you becoming. So it's about carrying it with you, carrying that fear with you and still making the jump scared. If you're scared, good. That means you're alive. Do it anyway. Last word. So, I feel like people, your dream isn't just about you. Going after what you desire and want isn't just about you. It's it's inheritance. It's like an inheritance, if that makes sense. It's the only wealth that doesn't depreciate. Property breaks down, money like fades, but your dream, like inspiration, multiplies in whoever sees you live it. Like when you see someone doing something they wanted to do and love, and it's inspirational. It unlocks yours. Like watching somebody up on a stage doing their thing or something makes you think like you could do what you want to do too. That's that's the inheritance. Every kid that grows up watching you either learns to shrink or learns to stretch. Your dream teaches them how to measure the possibility. So even if you don't make it, it's like it doesn't matter. Your your leap that you take towards that becomes somebody else's ladder. Your attempt becomes their permission slip to go ahead and do it. Even if you never hit the mountaintop, somebody watching you sees and climbs and realizes, damn, maybe I could do it too. And that's legacy. So dreams are communal. Every time you chase one, you bend reality a little for the rest of us. You widen the path. That's that's wealth that money can't buy. Think about it. The real poverty isn't in money. It's in spirit. It's when whole generations inherit fear instead of faith, caution instead of courage, survival instead of vision. That's why chasing your dream matters even when it hurts. Better to pass down a blueprint of bravery than a will full of silence. Dreams got their own economy. Every time you live one, you invest in the collective. That song you never sang, that book you never wrote, the art you never painted, that's cultural bankruptcy. But when you give it, even once, it lives forever. So not only do dreams inspire, they reproduce. Dreams don't expire. We just ignore the date. But when you choose to chase yours, you shift the future. You leave proof that impossible is negotiable. And that's bigger than money, bigger than status. That's inheritance. So don't just do it for you, do it for everybody watching. Do it for the ones coming after. Do it for the version of you that still believes. Dreams don't die, they multiply. And the only question left is, will yours?